Hello, everybody, and welcome to Row M, a Georgia baseball podcast.
Wait, come again, Clark. What'd you just say?
Row M. M as in monkey.
Okay. Row M.
Yep.
Georgia baseball podcast?
That's it, Adam.
Say
you
it
heard me
again.
correctly.
Say it
Row
again.
M, a Georgia baseball podcast.
Boom! Whoa, baby, let's go.
My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Yes,
and
sir, baby.
Is this show number 77 or is this show number 1?
However our audience wants to look at it, Clark, this is going to be a special edition June episode of our podcast, man. I couldn't be any more excited about this, Clark. 16 years in the making. I was a sophomore in high school the last time we got to experience this. I remember it like it was yesterday. Same opponent, same venue.
Yep.
Let's go.
Oh, man.
America's game, baby. Love it. Pastime, excuse me.
Georgia baseball, baby. We're back.
Juiced.
We're back. After 16 years, we're back to a super regional, hosting a super regional, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This weekend, the Dawgs will take on the NC State Wolfpack.
The NC State Wolfpack.
Adam, NC State's one of those teams I traditionally pull for because they play Clemson a lot. So, they're red and black. So,
That's
but
right.
not this week.
No.
We are channeling our inner NC State hatred.
That's right, Clark. A familiar opponent. The last time Georgia was in this spot, who was the opponent? North Carolina State Wolfpack, man. North Carolina's got good baseball up there, good collegiate baseball, Clark. You think the last few years, North Carolina, the University of North Carolina has been a historically good baseball program this whole millennium. You know, about 06, 07, went to a couple CWS finals in a row. I think got beat by Oregon State 2 years in a row, or 2 out of 3 years. It was along those lines, but always hosts a regional up there. You got Wake Forest, who in the past few years has become a perennial power. Duke eliminated Georgia a few years back in the Athens regional and has been a staple in some of these regionals. And then you got NC State as well, Clark, who probably would have won the College World Series a few years back during all that COVID stuff. Do you remember that happening? So, a very good program, man. I think 2 evenly matched teams from what I could tell, and it should be some good baseball being played this weekend at Foley Field. I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. Well, let's, if you're new here, this is not the traditional format.
No, it's not.
We are exclusively, well, up until this point, exclusively a Georgia football podcast.
That's
but
right.
Here we are. Adam, I got to be honest with you. I've been a little bit of a bandwagon fan over the past decade or so.
Yeah.
Or more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have kept up with Georgia baseball a lot more this season. Probably watched about 50% of the games. And you and I and several other friends of ours, we're all in a group chat. We've been talking about the Dawgs. We've been keeping up with them long before now. And this is a fun team to watch. And I'm not really I used to be a gigantic baseball fan. You'd see me watching baseball tonight. You kind of got me hooked hooked on the Yankees and watching Jeter and all those guys back in the day. And I used to love that. And growing up,
That's right.
it was awesome. And then it switched to football. But man, I forgot how much fun watching really good baseball is.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, well, MLB when we were younger with like you said, Derek Jeter to Chipper Jones. I mean, how much that was special back then. I think it's changed since, in my opinion. But college baseball, man, is still just a great pure sport, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of these sports that you see that NIL has not just got its hand in the cookie jar almost, in the sense of affected yet. I mean, it just seems still pure to me, Clark. But anyway, I've always enjoyed Georgia baseball. It's been some dark years recently, and you think in a talent-rich state, you think about the East Cobb guys and just the prospects that come out of the state of Georgia that go. A lot of them go straight to MLB draft, man, and a lot of them are going like to Texas Tech and these other programs around the Southeast, man, and a lot of talent here. And we've always thought, why can't Georgia be an Arkansas, an Ole Miss, a Mississippi State, a Texas A&M, and be one of these programs that are always competing to host a regional every single year, Clark, and have that environment too. And I think that's one thing too is the athletic department. I'll just be honest with you, just failed in a sense that, and as fans and talking to myself, we haven't created the environment or been given by the athletic department to the environment as what you see around the league, and where you see it in Arkansas and at Starkville, Mississippi, or at College Station, Texas. But what I saw last weekend there, Clark, reminded me of what it used to be like when I was younger in 2008. I remember I grew up going to the regional, super regional games, seeing Jeff Keppinger in 2001 against Florida State. In 04, actually went out to Atlanta against Georgia Tech. I believe that game. I could be completely wrong on that, but I know it was against Georgia Tech. But I'm pretty sure it was in Atlanta actually in 2004. Went out there, and then 2006 was against South Carolina. I remember that, and then 2008, of course, what we referenced was Gordon Beckham right here. That was just a special super regional as well. So postseason baseball has always, you were there at those games as well, Clark, when we were younger, like you said, has always been special and an adrenaline rush that we've enjoyed, man. And it's good to see Georgia where they should be at. Wes Johnson, year one, getting to the first super regional in 16 years, man. And year one of his coaching career, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And I mean, you made a good point the other day.
Let's go, baby.
Really, the tide's starting to turn with the big three, right? And when I say the big three, I mean football, baseball, basketball, right?
That's right.
The tide's starting to turn a little bit, and I think you got to give a lot of credit to Josh Brooks. He made an exceptional hire with Wes Johnson. I sounded like an idiot on a couple of episodes ago. I think I was like, "What's the name of our baseball coach?" I couldn't believe myself. I know, But Wes Johnson, he's done a fantastic job. Coming in from LSU last year with Paul Skeens, that kid's tearing it up, and they had a loaded team. I didn't realize just how much talent they had leave for the draft last year. Play, that is now playing the MLBs, but. He has done a great job, exceeded expectations this year, and man, we could not be happier watching the Dawgs in postseason.
I mean, it's kind of familiar, Clark. You hire an assistant coach that just came off of a national championship winning program the year before. He was the head coach at the University of Georgia, man. So
I got to tell the people this.
All right.
I got to tell the people.
My voice still cracking.
Well, me too. I'm still recovering.
It's not fall, so we're not used to exercising our vocal nodules,
right?
So we got to get ramped back up for June, man.
Yeah, we both have a water tonight. Adam, you got a little coffee.
Got a coffee.
It's 10:56 p.m.
You dang right. We're rolling
Tuesday night.
We're rolling. Nothing wrong with it. Just enjoying life. Anyway, proceed.
Yeah, but anyway, you said something the other day, and I just died laughing. We were talking about Wes Johnson and his demeanor, right?
Yeah.
You said this. You said. He's Kirby Smart and cleats.
Yeah.
And I thought, that is a brilliant way of putting it. Yeah.
I like it, man. I'd run through a brick wall for Wes Johnson. It's like, have I ever met Wes Johnson? No, I haven't. But I see his motivational dugout videos, man. And I you know what? I mean, there's a lot of charisma you got to have as a head coach in any sport at any level, Clark, from recreation football to recreation, little league baseball on up. You got to have a certain. Okay. You got to know your players, right? Where they're at in life, and you got to have that charisma and that motivation. I mean, obviously you got to know the X's and O's and everything about your respective sport and the ins and outs and the fundamentals and techniques, and we got to establish that. But you got to be a motivator, Clark. And Wes Johnson's got that. Wes Johnson's got that. When I look at Wes Johnson, and that's what we talked about the other night, Clark. When we were talking, I think me and you were sitting up there. We were talking about, hey, is this pitch count getting a little bit high on this kid? I mean, do we got any arms at the pen? Do you think we need to get old Southpaw up in the bullpen warming up? One of them numbers. Right. And then we say, no, I'll be honest with you, Clark. Then we talked about this. You don't question Wes Johnson when it comes to pitching.
That's true.
Just like you don't question Kirby Smart when it comes to the defensive secondary.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Yep. It's the same thing. So great hire by Josh Brooks, man. Phenomenal job, overachieving. But yes, exciting time all the way around in Athens as far as you said the big three sports. I think Mike White, respectable first year, getting to second year. Second year.
Hey, there was improvement from
first to second year.
By one win.
Getting to the NIT championship, Clark. And, that's something we'll touch on. The recruiting looks good, man. And and he's got the hardest job out of the three.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. The most close. Barriers to and obstacles to overcome. But anyway, man, but baseball, back to baseball, and in defense of Strickland, a little bit is there's got to be, I think, too, from what I've heard and you hear, that facilities were really behind in baseball.
Yeah.
The money hadn't been put there. We were the only team or one of the only two teams in the SEC that didn't have a pitching lab, Clark. What do you think we do in a pitching lab? Why do we need a pitching lab?
Do we do like chemistry and diagnose the baseball and see which, I don't know.
What amount of
you
rosin
put it in a wind
bag,
tunnel?
What amount of rosin bag bounces that you need to get to effectively grip a an 11-5 curveball.
Adam, do they still throw curveballs?
At
the college level? I haven't
surely
seen
they do
that much. Everybody.
Surely they do. I don't know. They might
Everybody just throws fastballs. I'm
just surprised. Some of them, you got these old baseball dads out there. They sign up their kids for their travel ball and they start throwing curveballs at the age of 7 now, and having to have Tommy John at the age of 10.
Yeah,
got to be careful on arm development out there, parents, with your children. Thinking they're going to be the next.
What was your favorite? Did you ever pitch back in the day?
I didn't pitch. No.
Oh man.
I don't pitch. I got stocky arms. And I'm tight up in here. I didn't have an arm. I'm tied up. People with arm strength and good, are tall, lanky.
Yeah.
Like lanky, but like right here, I get a little muscle tightness right here.
Right.
So pitching, no. What my thing? No, how about you, Clark? Did you pitch anything? Did you throw a little change up, a little knuckle curve?
No, I had a 12-6, and I would literally, back in middle school, I would aim for the batter's head. I'm being dead serious, and it would drop right at the top of the zone. I will say there was a few times the ball got murdered out in center.
No, you have that.
And one person who did that was Ben Cleveland.
Oh, did he?
He took one probably 575 feet.
That's good
dead
stuff.
Center
That's
on
good
a
stuff.
hanging 12-6 curveball.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Anyway, so just fun banter.
We're talking about the pitching lab. The pitching lab.
Yeah, the pitching lab.
Whatever analytics we need to do to pitching lab, I don't know what we do in a pitching lab. Somebody else we got to get on the podcast to talk about the benefits of a pitching lab. I don't know if we're reviewing film in this lab. What analytical data is being acquired in a pitching lab that's going to put us over the top into the premier SEC programs? My God, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for a pitching lab.
Me too. And if it means we have to buy some extra concessions to help fund the pitching lab, we'll do it.
But by God, they better make them things better. They better make the fan experience better. We need to.
Okay, hold on.
Wait. Let me say this.
Okay.
We need to focus first tier of money spending in the baseball program, Clark, needs to be on for recruiting pitchers, for the player development, pitching labs, hitting labs, more tees, more batting cages, more whatever we got to do, simulations, whatever we got to do, ice cooler thing, where you could ice the arm up a little bit. Whatever we need to do that's going to put us up there with what they have going on in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the likes, right? And then we need to work on the fan experience.
Yeah, it was lacking. We're going to save this talk because this is coming up pretty soon.
We do the same things we did when I was in 6th grade, 2004, when I went to go see Will Startup pitch at Georgia. Yeah. I think we did the same type fan experience. Same everything at Foley Field. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, man. We're having fun already, and we're really not even started. God, we haven't really started yet.
No, we haven't. All right, go ahead.
But here's what's coming on this episode. So if you haven't been keeping up with Georgia baseball, don't worry. We're going to catch you up right here. First part. And then we're going to move on to what we saw at Foley Field the other night.
Yep.
Adam and I attended a couple of regional games with our family, and we had a great time. But there are some notes. There are some things we got to improve upon.
We do. We need to talk about that. Yeah. Definitely some stuff we discussed. With the facility, the landlocked facility, like the state of Nebraska. Foley Field's landlocked for expansion.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true. We've got a weekly concession stands report. We're going to give you kind of a recap over that Athens regional. It was a fun weekend. And then we're going to talk about this upcoming weekend versus NC State and what that looks like and how we feel about it.
So we got a little history lesson too, Clark.
I think you have a little history lesson here on your napkin notes.
Coming back, baby. Boom.
Oh, man. All right. So if you've been living under a rock or you've just been busy, maybe you've been wanting to keep up with Georgia baseball, but just really haven't had the chance. Right. Here we go. We're going to kind of catch you up here. Like we mentioned earlier, we've got a new head coach this year. Not Scott Strickland anymore. His name's Wes Johnson. He comes from LSU. Yeah. He was their pitching coach last year, did a fantastic job. LSU, they are the reigning national champions, but they did just get put out by UNC.
They did. Great game the other night. That LSU staff, their roster last year, like you said, Clark, you made a good mention. Kind of for just the football fans out there, LSU's roster last year was generationally talented, loaded, like 2021 Georgia football roster.
Yeah.
Then that's what you said, and I was like, dang, that's a good analysis because it was.
And then what was the third baseman, the long hair? Oh, my gosh.
It's Tommy Tanks.
Tommy, what's his last name?
White.
Tommy White. That's
Is
right.
that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And he used to play NC State, fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, transfer from NC State.
Anyway, Tommy White, though, reminds me an awful lot of what Jalen Carter was like for that 2022 team, that returning vet.
Yeah, that
you
guy.
know,
Yeah.
the guy that stepped
kind of the
up.
key cog.
Exactly.
Understand. Yeah.
So anyway, this is not about LSU.
Kind of maybe the vocal leader and the guy that you just look up to.
Sure.
Right? I mean, one of those deals.
Makes the big play.
I understand.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we need to throw in some football analogies, right?
Yeah, to kind of get
football terminology
to get everybody on the same page,
accustomed to what.
Also, it's like Parks Harbor, Clark.
Oh yeah,
old guy used to be a Georgia Bulldog. He's playing for North Carolina now.
Yeah,
saw him on the tube the other night. I guess he followed his girlfriend up to Chapel Hills. What I heard, but I mean, he was all ACC or something. Can you imagine him in this lineup as well?
I know. Oh.
I mean, but still, I mean, that's either near or there. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to be here. We don't want him here.
That's right. Georgia baseball. If you haven't been watching, my gosh, this team is so much fun to watch. Offensively, we've been hitting tons of home runs. I think we've set a school record for home runs and grand slams in a single season.
Yeah.
And we're still not done. I want to say Charlie Condon, if you don't know that name, you definitely should. Household name by this point, will be, I think, the number one overall draft pick. He has set the BB Core record for home runs. He has 36 currently and counting. Adam, what do you like about Charlie?
Charlie Condon, Clark. We're sitting here. Let me just put this in perspective. I'm sitting here. I got a bobblehead I probably got from Foley Field 2013 Gordon Beckham night. Yeah. Up until Charlie Condon, probably, up there, Jeff Keppinger, Gordon Beckham, the best baseball player to ever play at the University of Georgia. Last time Beckham was the team leader. Last time Georgia made a super regional in 08. Career home runs at Georgia, 53. Says it right here on the side of the box. Home run king. Obviously, that's been surpassed by Charlie Condon. So to put that in perspective, the guy before Charlie that was the man was Gordon Beckham. He only hit 53 career home runs.
Yeah.
And then what, Condon's
at 36 right now on the season.
On the season, exactly. So that just puts it in perspective. And I'm going to say this, Clark. For people who have not been following Georgia baseball, Charlie Condon is a name that you put in the same sentence as Herschel Walker, Brock Bowers,
Dominique
yes. Dominique.
Anthony Edwards,
yes. Special generational talent at the University of Georgia. Charlie Condon's right up there. And to have him and Brock Bowers on campus at the same time, you'll never see that again.
No.
You will never see that again.
You won't.
But yeah, I mean, for people who don't know, don't follow, yeah, and it's not an exaggeration saying that, Clark.
Yeah.
When what he is doing to his respective sport is 100% same on par, same freakish athletic level, the way he carries himself and everything as Brock Bowers.
Yeah. I mean,
same thing.
There are people everywhere saying this literally is the best offensive performance at the college level in a singular season, Charlie Condon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's
all the years, all the baseball teams. I mean, there are more baseball teams that are at this level than there are football teams, right?
Yeah. And I mean, Clark, it's not me because I know people are in there, on their phone, going on a jog right now in their car, whatever. It's like, no, Adam, he's not Brock Bowers to baseball. Yeah. Clark, it is not an exaggeration. It is the truth.
Yeah.
It is the truth. Georgia has had two generational guys at their respective sports on campus at the same time.
Completely agree. Yeah.
And, when you have guys like that, when you have guys like Gordon Beckham, when you have guys like Jeff Keppinger, that's the, where Georgia has been in these Omaha runs have had that guy. And Charlie Condon is the guy above Keppinger and Beckham, as great as they were, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's one thing that's exciting is having him and the support cast he's got. I think it's a good mixture of guys, Clark. From what I know about this team is you got very young, talented guys like Trey Phillips coming there on at the end of the year, but then you got the Corey Collins who's been there for so long, bleeds red and black, man. You could tell from the post-game reaction how much it meant to him to be able to advance to a super regional.
Yeah.
And, some of these just veteran guys, a good mix. And I think you got to tip your hat for them coming back under a new head coach, buying into the culture that Wes Johnson was laying out, and it's just mixed well,
Yeah.
And playing really good ball as the season has progressed, has turned into an elite team.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, and I think once again the big part of that is Charlie Condon. But you're exactly right. He has such a great supporting cast. I mean, a lot of guys 1 through 9 on that lineup who can hit the ball, who put the ball in play, who get around the bases and help him. But yeah, I mean he is unbelievable. And assuming that he has taken number 1 off the board, overall, Georgia, listen to this, will be only the 3rd school in history to have produced a number 1 overall pick in the NFL, NBA, and MLB.
Awesome.
So that would be Anthony Edwards, Stafford, and Condon.
And Trevon Walker.
That is true. Wow. Yeah, no, you're
Trayvon Walker.
Dang, yeah, Trayvon Walker. Wow.
That's right.
That is true.
That's right. So,
oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, a lot. And 3 of them picks would be within just a handful of years of each other.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing, man. So
I'll say this too. I mean, we miss the days of the aluminum bats and hearing the sound off those, man. But
yeah,
I miss Georgia football back in that era, the 2004 to 2012. But I'm telling you, Adam, there is a difference between that talent, and I'm not saying those guys weren't talented; they certainly were. But there is a significant difference between that talent and what the talent you have nowadays. Yeah. These kids are faster, they're stronger, they're more flexible, more agile, they're quicker, they have better reaction times. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's just straight athletes on, and some people think, baseball players aren't athletes. I know that sounds stupid, but, I mean, they are very athletic players on that field, man, that you watch, and it just seems like getting that way more and more every year.
Mm-hmm.
And this group's special, the recruiting class coming in special, and, I mean – it's just I'm excited. It feels magical, It
does,
and it kind of felt magical because I mean, I know we haven't been doing a weekly podcast about Georgia baseball, but me and you've discussed it all year and kept up, watched games, all this good stuff, and it's felt like they clicked at the right time.
Yeah,
and I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Charlie. One more thing. I just want to read his stat line because this is insane. He is number 1 in the nation for his batting average. He's batting .445, casual. 445.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that doesn't even sound right.
No,
that's like a typo.
That's like you creating a player on MLB The Show.
Yeah.
I don't even think you could bat .445 with a created player 99 overall on MLB The Show back in the day.
I mean, even .345. That's impressive.
Yeah, dang right. I mean, NC State's leading guys .379.
Dang. Yeah. He's number 1 in the nation with hits. He's actually tied with, what's his name? Christian Moore, I think his name, at Tennessee.
Yeah.
That kid's a stud too. Yeah. But 98 hits on the season. Number 1 in the nation in home runs right now, 36 home runs.
Wow.
36 dingers. And I don't know what his strikeouts are, but it's almost the same.
Yeah.
And when you can say, I've hit just as many home runs as I've been struck out this season, that is an impressive stat.
Yeah, you don't hear that often. You don't hear that at all. You don't hear that at all at any level of the game, man. So just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's number 3 in the nation in on-base percentage at .566. Number 1 in the nation is a guy you just mentioned a while ago, Corey Collins.
Yes, sir.
Who's batting 1 and 2.
Stud.
Yeah. Stud. Like they respectively bat. So Corey Collins is number 1. He's leadoff hitter, and then right behind him is Charlie Condon, which is so – It seems so unorthodox, right? Because normally you put those guys in your 3 and 4 spot.
Yeah. I mean, and to me, Clark, that's the heart of this team.
Yeah,
as those two guys. But yeah, you're exactly right. Traditionally, you would think Corey Collins would be a 3-hole hitter, and then Charlie Condon would be cleanup, right? But it's kind of where Wes Johnson has them at. Maybe wanting them to see more at bats right there at 1-2, complement each other really well, get off to a quick start because both of them just get on base, man. And also one thing we talk about their offensive performance, Clark. But Corey Collins to save the game the other night made a heck of a defensive play at first base. And both of them have been asked as utility players to play different positions. Both of them I feel like has been in the outfield. I know Charlie Condon's been moved around a lot and kind of have settled in right now on the corners right there at first and third base. But both of those guys are selfless ball players. And when you have that and that talent, that's when you see a special run like this, Clark. But I like what Wes Johnson does with this lineup, Clark, because what you're seeing is, like, traditionally how I would pencil this lineup or thinking where I've known baseball where I'd have a guy like Colby Branch batting leadoff.
Right.
And then I'd have, like you said, Corey Collins batting third, Condon 4, Trey Phelps 5th, right? I mean, that's what you traditionally think, but the way that Wes Johnson has done it, putting Branch in the 9-hole, almost, but it's kind of essentially like he's a leadoff guy, kind of how it just works out, and kind of the new. Does this sound good?
No, I'm with you. I mean, putting a good hitter at your 9-hole is definitely unorthodox. I mean, you don't really think of it that way, but when you get, in the third inning, those later innings, and you're at the bottom of your lineup, and you need some big runs generated, and you need some momentum. It's good to have that third guy essentially down there at number 9, and then it leads into, you carry that momentum into the top of your lineup. So
heck of a regional by Kobe Branch, man.
Oh yeah,
I mean, what he did, the Grand Slam and Saturday night's game, absolutely huge. And what he did, of course, hit a big home run to keep things going against Georgia Tech Sunday night, and from the 9-hole spot. And I mean, just guys just stepping up. That's what you got to do to keep advancing in June, Clark. Is you got to have guys step up. Guys step up and be playmakers. Get a bat on the ball, Clark. Put the ball in play and make something happen.
Yeah. Oh man, don't you just love it when you just rip a ball into a gap?
Oh, I love a gap.
I mean, I love a home run,
but I love a gap.
But man, there's something to it.
When Corey Collins hit that ball the other night to get the 2 insurance runs right there, just smoked it right there in the right field. Just loved it.
Can you imagine what that would have sounded like with an aluminum bat? Oh, not these BB core bats.
Oh man, just
what do you? What's your opinion on it? I mean, do you think we should go back to the wooden bats? Do you think we should stick with the BB core, aluminum, wood? What do you think?
I mean, I miss the old aluminum bat era, and we've talked about this. A lot of people think that. Amazing what the 2008 Diamond Dawgs have a special place in my heart because that was fun. I was a young high school guy back then, and just obsessed with baseball. Love those guys. The Ryan Pizels, Matt Cerrone's, Gordon Beckham's, Bryce Massonary, really liked him. Justin Fields, golly. I mean, you just the list goes on and on of those guys. And
Josh Fields, not Justin.
Josh Fields.
Gosh. Definitely not Justin.
Cut that Sorry. Yes, Joshua Fields, a good closing pitcher. But anyway, it was those Nike Torque bats, Clark. Do you remember? They were pitiful. Yeah. And they would break all the time.
They were white and red.
Yeah, they were orange and black. Yeah, orange and black.
Oh, those.
Yes, Nike Torque bats. And I mean, it's amazing. I don't know how many home runs Gordon Beckham could have hit if he didn't have to use them because of the Nike contract that Georgia had. But they would crack all the time, man. When these other teams were using Easton Stelts and everything, like back in the day, that the ball would just jump off their bat. But anyway, I digress. That's just a little side note. But no, I mean, I think it's good where it's at, and man, I don't think this offense this Georgia team has they have proved that they could put up some dang runs, man. The whole year they've done it, Clark.
Very consistent at the plate. So
yeah.
Let's talk about Foley Field, Adam. It's been a while since I've been. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Hold up. It's been actually when our boy Keegan McGovern. Shout out to Keegan.
Great.
He's a friend of the show. Keegan was a big home run hitter. I think he had. I hope I'm getting this right. His senior year, I want to say he had about 18 home runs. But last time I was at Foley, though, all that to say, was about 2018.
Yeah, well,
which is crazy.
Keegan McGovern wasn't just a Georgia baseball player; he's an all-time great.
Oh yeah,
I mean, when you talk about all-time great Georgia first basemen, you think Rich Poitras, who was a 4-hole hitter with Beckham in that group. Man, you think about Poitras, you think about Keegan McGovern, and you think about like guys like Corey Collins. All those are in the same conversation, man.
For sure.
I mean, when you're talking about Georgia greats over the last couple decades. Keegan McGovern's name's on it in there. And Jeff Dancer and David Johnson were just talking about him the other day in it. So
were they really?
Sure were, yeah. Talking about him and Charlie Condon and his name came up. So
yeah.
DGD.
He really is. I love you, Keegan, man. He was my roommate in college, and I got
to meet old Keegan. I've still
you do.
To meet old Keegan. But we appreciate the support, man.
Absolutely. Foley Field, though. Adam, when's the last time you've been to Foley? You remember?
Last year.
Okay.
Last year I didn't make a game this year with getting harder with kid and then and everything, and but watched a bunch of them. But I went to the Georgia Clemson game last year. Okay. Oh, and I went to see him on the road last year too at Clemson.
Really?
Yeah. So that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Foley's been it's been up. I think it got a good renovation back in 2015, and it desperately needed it from what I remember. But Yeah, I mean, not much has changed, honestly, about the layout or anything. It's a fairly small stadium. I think it only seats like maybe 3,500, might be, give or take.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that includes the bleachers or not, out in left field.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really do wish we would put more into our baseball facilities. And I think that is coming. That's obviously in the works. I know we are getting a massive upgrade to our left field bleacher area where the dugout, or sorry, not the dugout, the bullpen is and everything. So that ought to be nice. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, I wish we'd step it up a little bit because it is fun. It really, I forgot how enjoyable it is to go to these games, and the ticket prices are very reasonable.
Oh yeah,
especially
when
after
student there and get in free.
But also after spending, you know, ungodly amounts of money going to watch Georgia football, you start to appreciate the $10, $15, $20 tickets.
Yeah, that's right. Just get entertainment, man.
Just go and watch a good game at Foley. But,
and I mean, you look at it and you look at around the SEC. Everybody knows what the environments are. I've alluded to it already on the show. Are in Starkville and Oxford and College Station and Fayetteville. And you know, those environments to be created, people will come out and support like those teams, or is it that we need to create an environment to make it attractive for fans to come out and make it those rowdy environments, man?
It's a little bit both, I think.
I think, yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, there's definitely stuff that, you know, fans need to be more committed to supporting this team like they do on Saturdays in the fall. Maybe. And, I mean, yeah, me too. And, but also there needs to be some environments that are unique to those places I just listed off that you can make your own in Athens, man. And one that was so good in that era of those College World Series runs in 01, 04, 06, and especially 08 was the Kudzu Hill, the greenhouse up there, and the rowdiness that was ensued in right field. And, you know, some renovations kind of took that away. The mystique of the Kudzu Hill right there, some foliage was overgrew a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, old Mother Nature and Father Time passed by and some foliage happened and we didn't have enough, you know, kind of upkeep, and we lost the view of the greenhouse. Yeah. But it came back for this weekend. Right. So you kind of felt like that magic that I have not seen in so long was bottled up this weekend. And I don't know why. We went, you know, and I went to regional games in 18 and 19 as well, but it just felt different this weekend.
It did.
It felt really different this weekend. It felt like 08. Mm-hmm. It felt like 08 this weekend.
I agree. Did you? Oh, I was going to ask you something about Kudzu Hill. Oh, did you happen to see the video of the Army players?
That's America, baby.
For those who don't know about this, Georgia did play the Army in this past regional tournament. But did you see the Army players calling the Dawgs?
Yeah, I did. That's America. That's America. Love that. Love that our guys up there welcome those young men who are, you know, has got something bigger than baseball coming ahead of them for our country with open arms. That's something they'll never forget. They'll probably be lifelong Georgia supporters after that. And proud of the boys up there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Army gave us a battle. They did. I mean, a literal battle on the diamond the other day. Jeez.
That's right.
We barely escaped that
That's
one.
Right.
But anyway, back to Foley Field. Adam, it's a travesty what I'm about to say.
All right, give it to us.
Foley Field did not have Dippin' Dots.
Is this a concession stand report?
No, it's. I've actually listed no Dippin' Dots twice on my notes under Foley Field atmosphere and weekly concession.
No, it's that big of a deal.
It's that big of a deal. And we're going to bring it up. It is inexcusable not to have frozen, you know, freeze-dried ice cream balls in a $17 souvenir
from 2004.
Ice cream of the future
from 2006. Yeah,
it's inexcusable not to have it in a $14 souvenir baseball plastic hat thing.
Or a frozen lemonade. Yeah. Or a frozen Minute Maid lemonade.
Or just a soft serve ice cream.
Staple that you used to get like Turner Field and Foley Field back in the day. No, Clark, it is inexcusable. We talked about this. You know, you think, when you think of baseball, Clark, You think of United States presidents throwing out the first pitch from the grandstands in like 1917, like Calvin Coolidge, throwing out a pitch from the third baseline, Teddy Roosevelt. You think of that. You think of Babe Ruth. You think of Honus Wagner, those type of guys. You think about apple pie. You think about hot dogs. You think about a piano and a big organ popping up there in the seventh inning stretch. And you think about Dippin' Dots. It goes in that order. That is all grouped together as in one. And the fact that we're not serving those Dippin' Dots that are an American legacy to America's pastime that got us through so many hardships in the 20th century into the 21st century, so many world wars, so many just life events that's happened to this country. An American original, Clark, that we don't have Dippin' Dots? Are you kidding me? And not only do we not have Dippin' Dots, I would have took Dippin' Dots out of a styrofoam cup, but much less give the children what they want. Give the children a legacy. Let them have a legacy of a souvenir cup helmet like you would get at the Braves games, or you used to get at Foley Field of a little Georgia little cup, or like a helmet, not like the helmet Gordon Beckham's with the old ear protector.
I would take
but
that.
What like the third base coach wears, just that, and a little replica helmet that you can kind of bring home to commemorate your experience at Foley Field.
I still have mine somewhere at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's special. That's special. But you're robbing the children of today that opportunity, not serving Dippin' Dots out of a souvenir helmet cup.
Give the children the Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots, baby. America, apple pie, hot dogs, baseball, Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, I was not happy to see the Dippin' Dot stands have been totally replaced by beverage stands.
Yeah,
which,
I mean. But still,
what's in it for the kids though?
What I don't know, Clark. I really don't know.
I'm tired of eating boxed M&Ms and boxed Sour Patch Kids at these games when I want something sweet. Give the people Dippin' Dots.
I mean, it's not in the middle of January at a basketball game, right?
Right.
I mean, the sun's blazing. It's beating down.
Yeah.
You want a Minute Maid lemonade. You want soft serve. You want Dippin' Dots. Josh Brooks will hear about it.
Oh, will he? What is that supposed to mean?
I'm going to send an email.
Okay.
I'm going to send an email.
I think we all need.
Everybody needs to send.
I want to challenge everybody.
This is a row him / row 60 challenge, right?
I want you to find Josh Brooks' email and be very kind.
Because he's great.
Yeah, he's wonderful. And I think he'll listen.
He emails people back. I mean, that's how good of a guy he is. Athletic, with concerns. He will email back.
Sure.
Yeah.
But just say that Adam and Clark, row 60 / row M, whatever you'd like to
refer to us now.
Just say that we would like our Dippin' Dots back in Sanford Stadium.
Or Foley Field.
Foley Field. And Sanford Stadium.
Sanford Stadium for that matter, too.
Because I think they took them out last year.
The only time we get them is when we go to Mercedes-Benz.
I know.
Big game Dippin' Dots, man.
Well,
we're talking about big game Dippin' Dots, and the big game Dippin' Dots that we would have in the fall when we're following another sport outside of baseball is big game Dippin' Dots on the road.
Yeah. If you can't tell, me and Adam love some overpriced Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, because they just freeze your tongue.
I know. I love them.
Take a taste bud or two, rip it off of it.
Isn't it dry ice or something?
I don't know what it is.
Not freeze dry, but it's like dry ice.
It's good. It's just nostalgic. But anyway, yeah. So is that going to, yeah.
So, okay, all right. That's, oh man, we need to move on. All right, we'll save the rest of the concession stands talk for the concession stands report a little later on.
Yeah.
But let's keep talking about the atmosphere because I think there's a lot to be said here. Adam, we need a bigger scoreboard. That's number 2.
Yeah.
They're under Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, something that's new to this baseball experience now, Clark. You got the pitch clock.
Right.
Like a for everybody in football, the play clock. Got a pitch count clock. Kind of speed the game up a little bit.
Which I am a fan of, honestly.
That's good. It keeps you in check, right? But then you got the official review where you got to go.
Yeah.
Got to go to the booth.
This is the signal.
This is the signal that we need to review a call. Well, you're used to being in Sanford to seeing if a guy fumbled or if his knee was down, right?
Yeah.
And you got a big old jumbotron up there, where you're seeing.
Right.
Clark, when we had some questionable play calls, they didn't even utilize the full video board out there. I mean, it was just a fragment.
Yeah.
Just a fragment.
Like a 10 by 10
Like
foot.
a 10 by 10 pixel.
Yeah.
Terrible pixel quality, too, right? I mean, you're a video guy. I mean,
I don't think it's the pixel quality. We just need a bigger scoreboard.
But anyway, like we're trying to we're trying to figure out what happened in the bang bang play at first. Yeah. I can't tell where the runner's foot's hitting the bag, and I can't tell when the ball meets leather. I can't tell when we heard a pop from the glove. Like, yeah. I mean, you can't tell it. You can't tell it. I'm sitting there squinting. I'm like, is the ball in the glove yet?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bang bang play already, and you got to. But I want to see, and I want to have a crowd reaction. But it's like they're playing it where you get a reaction, but nobody can see.
Yeah,
nobody can see.
It's tough.
Nobody can see.
I think we need a bigger scoreboard, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's time.
But not once again, not as important as Dippin' Dots. We need
or pitching lab.
We need the pitching lab first. Pitching
lab first.
In that order, people. One other thing I think we need.
What else do we need?
We need bigger speakers. I think we're just spoiled, honestly, because we've been in Sanford Stadium, one of the most, the most beautiful stadium in all of college football. But we're spoiled. We need some big speakers, though.
Yes.
Like, it sounded like all the sound from the PA system, the noise, any song played, it sounded like a little Bluetooth speaker.
Reverberated.
No, it wasn't necessarily the reverb. It just wasn't loud.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It kind of felt like but it's been the same audio quality since 2004.
That's true. I mean, if you're a traditionalist,
it's actually the same experience outside of Dippin' Dots as it was in 2006.
Yeah, I'm with you
to a T. And I'm a traditionalist for the most part and stuff. But you gotta adapt with sometimes in some ways of some cultures for some people, right?
Sure,
to grow, right?
Yeah, sure. What? Adam,
you want half of this Twix bar? Left Twix bar.
I kind of do want.
I'll get you some.
Man, I was eyeing the Twix, and then you hid them. Did you put them?
No, I put them over there. Yeah, I put them over there. Get you a Twix bar. Get you a Twix.
I don't want to eat. I don't want people to hear.
No,
here.
No. I've already got one.
You
eat it. Yeah, that's you.
Well, Adam, while I'm doing this, I want you to talk about what your walk-up song would be. We had some good walk-up songs. I'm glad that still continues in baseball. That's one of my favorite parts is listen to everybody's walk-up song. So what would your walk-up song be? And give me a couple of options while I eat.
One I've always liked is Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. The opening guitar riff on that. Probably, I've always thought about, I like the opening guitar riff, The Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. I kind of like the fiddle in the middle of The Bird Hunters by Turnpike Troubadours. This is just off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm. Yeah, kind of right now. What would be yours?
There's a lot that I could probably choose from. It'd definitely be the classic rock route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without doubt.
Or I know this is wild. Maybe Convoy by C.W. McCall.
Yeah, that would not be a good. Yeah. I like that. I like Eastbound and Down. From Jerry Reed. That'd be good. I mean,
or Waylon.
Are you sure I ain't done it this way?
Ooh,
the opening get the boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I like that.
I think though, no, I'd have to go with Sweet Emotion. That's just one of my all-time favorite songs, Aerosmith, and the opening riff to that.
Big good.
I love it.
Big good. Yeah, I do enjoy batter walk-up songs.
Yeah.
That's good.
I enjoy Billy Squire, the stroke, when that plays at a baseball game. That's been happening for years, too. I mean, I remember that being played back in the day. And everybody claps their hands. I'm telling you, Foley was getting into it the other night.
Do you think we didn't get, and I asked you this, do you think we did not get the rights to play The Devil Went Down to Georgia from the Charlie Daniels estate? Because, we're playing the karaoke version out there.
Yeah.
The instrumental karaoke version of it.
It was a knockoff version of it, yeah.
I'm like, what do we do?
Maybe we couldn't afford the rights.
Why would we play The Devil Went Down to Georgia? I get why we would, obviously. I get that. And that should be advocated, obviously, more in Sanford Stadium, I feel like. I mean, that should be, it should. It should.
Well, Charlie Daniels and Sanford
Stadium. Everybody right.
That would
but you need to get them at Foley Field. But if you can't put the lyrics on the screen and a bouncing G to go along with it, then why are we even doing it? It defeats the purpose of the whole song being about the state of Georgia when you don't have the Charlie singing the lyrics.
We didn't have a karaoke cam, and maybe it's because of the NCAA's hosting this technically, not necessarily Georgia, but who knows. All right, well, that's enough about the atmosphere. Overall, though, I will say it was really good.
It was rocking.
It was a lot of fun, and if you have not gone to a Georgia game, this is your last chance this year. This weekend against NC State, and the tickets are going to be crazy, but I'm telling y'all, it's worth it. Add to the energy, add to the excitement. Just get your ticket and come on down.
Saturday night was fun. It was great. Sunday night was special.
Oh,
and it's going to start a new era of hopefully it getting back up to what it used to be and even better.
Yeah, agreed.
As far as atmosphere and fan support.
Yep. All right, it's time for our weekly concession stands
jingle,
report.
baby. Boom! Woo! All right, then.
All right. No Dippin' Dots. Big. I think
there's no takeaway from anything that we've said on our baseball special. You need Dippin' Dots at the old ball field.
Yes.
So anyway, I got a lot of stuff to say about this, Clark.
Okay,
but you go ahead.
Let me give you my thoughts right quick. I actually liked everything minus the no Dippin' Dots part. I love the boiled peanuts, Adam.
Good.
It's $5 for a big old cup, and I ate them like crazy. And I ate them both nights when we went. Really good stuff. I will say one thing though, for the concession stands workers listening to row M right now. Yeah. If you could just add an extra styrofoam cup, to the bottom of the existing styrofoam cup, so
right.
You have a cup to discard your holes. Your holes.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't Texas Roadhouse. I'm not going to treat Foley Field.
That's right.
Does the stadium have a name?
No, it's just Foley Field.
It's just Foley Field. I'm not going to treat Foley Field like I would Jordan Hare. Or Texas Roadhouse. Right? I'm not going to litter. I'm not going to make a mess. I don't like doing that in our home stadium. So
that's respectable.
So give me something to discard my shells in, so that
No, I agree. Great, valid point. Very reasonable take. Very reasonable.
But boiled peanuts, A+, 9.8 out of 10. And then my last comment I'll make, and then I want you to speak. Refillable mugs, fantastic. I love them. Not necessarily the design, but the fact that you could go back for $7 and get you an extra spot. As you should.
You should. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's a very good, reasonable take there, Clark, in your concession stands report. Clark, one thing we did, we put a lot of pressure on Foley Field concessions both nights because we went in there as that was going to provide our supper.
Yeah.
We didn't eat on the way down. So we were gonna pig out and indulge at the old ballpark, man. So, we go in there. It's got the traditional layout like you would see now that what we have this modern era of concessions of your buffet style grab and go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Good labeling on that. It's strong,
buffet,
Clark.
Grab and go.
Grab and go, I guess I should say. It's strong. You're labeled, and it's got lines of if you want a Coke Zero, if you want a Diet Coke, if you want a Coca-Cola, if you want a paper cup, if you want a souvenir cup, and if you want a hot dog, if you want a hamburger, if you want a cheeseburger, or if you want a Chick-fil-A, you go and you just literally efficient. It's in and out, about 5 different cashiers out there. Boom. So efficiency, great, no problem with that. I think we're at that point. All athletic venues, we're getting people in and out of concession stand lines, even at the most pinnacle, high points of people going to seventh inning stretch, halftime, so forth and so on. All right, food complaint. All right, Foley Field concession stands. The food was probably the worst I've ever experienced at a Georgia athletic event. This weekend, both nights, Saturday and Sunday night.
Man. What was wrong?
The popcorn was good. Popcorn was traditional. Okay. It was popcorn. Still in a movie theater type bucket.
Not good.
Like that you would get at the old AMC cinema. So, still that. Chick-fil-A sandwich is a Chick-fil-A sandwich. It was good. That was fine. Where I had a problem, I couldn't get a Chick-fil-A sandwich Sunday night, right? Because, the good Lord's chicken don't get served on Sundays.
Right.
So, I'm like, and obviously people who've listened to the show a long time, we got a hot dog, right? No, I did not get a hot dog. I did not get a hot dog. I'm going to try this cheeseburger. Clark! I don't think it was beef. I think it was synthetic beef. I think it was one of our, what this nation's wanting to come to. As we're freaking talking about labs, pitching lab-grown meat. It was, as somebody who, I like cows.
Yeah.
I have some cows. Big beef guy, eat beef. You can eat chicken too. That's fine. But eat real meat.
Right.
Eat real meat. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a chicken or if it's a pig or if it's a cow, eat real meat. Don't. It's stuff. And I don't know, but there's no way that was a piece of out of a real cow. That was real beef.
That's concerning.
And that's a hot topic right now. We're definitely not getting to going down this road. But I want a hamburger that's like off the grill. At a ballpark too, Clark. Think about the dang Little League tournaments that you go to. I want to see smoke out of the grill, and I want to see some man out there with a rag wiping his forehead out there just hammering down some freaking broiled burgers on the grill, man.
With some sweat
don't care if
dripping on
it's
the
charcoal. I got a propane grill, whatever. I don't give a dang. I don't get better than whatever the heck that was trotted out in Foley Field, whatever type of beef patty that was.
Oh,
and I said, there's no way this is real beef.
Wow. That's interesting.
Could barely eat it. Could barely eat it.
Not good.
No way. I'm going to stand beside that was definitely not good American grown beef.
Where else would it have been grown?
Oh, I mean, no, Argentina, man.
Really?
They funneled in the USDA. You can't, and that's something that's a touchy subject too. That you can't label American grown beef in the stores. So they mix in some of these packers and these big. They'll mix in, but because you want to get it labeled that it's American grown beef.
Right.
No, that's not a thing.
I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
So yeah. So anyway, that's
Adam
rant about that.
You should have gotten the dog because
I should have gotten
the hot dog.
I should have gotten the dog.
Pretty good.
But, the hamburger was terrible. I want to see somebody. I want to see a grill outside of Foley Field.
We're calling you out,
hammering it down on it, and somebody running in, with some trays, getting some, wrapping them up in some aluminum foil.
We need to take it a step further. Yeah, once it gets to that point, we need to start getting a guy out there in a neon green shirt walking up and down the aisle saying hot dogs.
Yeah.
Get your hot dogs
right.
here.
That's exactly right. Is what we should.
Dang it! There's no convenience.
Nah, but not terrible burger. I mean, nothing. I mean, like I said, synthetic beef. I don't think it was real.
Oh man! All right, let's talk actual baseball here for a little bit. Let's recap this Athens regional. It was a fun weekend for the Dawgs. We started off with a big win over Army, 8-7. That game was really close. Obviously, I mean it was one run, but I can't remember who kind of made the major hit. I want to say it was Corey Collins.
Yeah.
Who drove in the last run, maybe. But all that to say, that was a big win. That's what you want to do when you start one of these regional game series, whatever, is get out with a win first.
Well, I think too, Clark. Obviously you want to beat teams 10-0 or something, but especially when it's a 1 versus 4 seed. But I thought that win helped kind of they needed to be tested a little bit,
right?
And come face some adversity, come from behind, have a swing of emotions from inning to inning, and guys have to step up in different situations, not to be behind the 8 ball. I thought Wes Johnson did a great job with his pitching staff in a sense of, some people think, and that's a key to this whole thing as advancing it, especially in a regional, because now a super regional is going to be more like your traditional weekend series that you had, but a regional with not knowing when you're playing, how many games you're playing, what to do with your pitching staff, and the amount of arms, especially coming off a conference tournament. Some of these teams, It's key to doing that, and you're like, well, especially if you're a host, a number 1, and you're facing a number 4 seed. Do you start your ace? Do you start, your big arms, or and then when you get into your relief pitchers, are you burning up arms? Or you're trying to, or is it something that you're wanting to save it for a game 2 against maybe the 2 or the 3 seed? You get? Well, what Wes Johnson did is he didn't hold anything back. He didn't keep pitchers in long just to keep arms fresh in the bullpen. I felt like he pitched guys that they're just to win that game because it's so important to win that first game. And I think that shows the brilliance of Wes Johnson in how he handles this rotation and pitch count and everything. Yeah,
I mean he's been here before. That's the great thing. You've got a coach who just won College World Series last year. Yeah. He knows what it takes. He's been, at every level of the game, and he's seen it all. So now it's a matter of getting your team prepared, mentally ready for the next game, and that would have been UNC Wilmington.
Yeah.
University of North Carolina, Wilmington. But they were a good team too. They had a lot of hot bats, and they were swinging well, But we did what we needed to do. I don't know how to. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at talking baseball. I mean, I know what happened, and I remember some highlights.
Big grand slam.
Oh, yeah, Colby Branch.
Colby Branch, man. I mean, early in the game. And I think one thing that –
Man, I can't remember that game. Because the Tech game overshadowed that one.
Yeah, 100%. Kobe Branch hit a big grand slam. Georgia, man, what they did and where they separate themselves from it seemed like when they got big wins this year is you look at the box score and each team have, 10, 11 hits or 8, 9 hits, but Georgia win games by 4 or 5 runs. The difference is Georgia's hitting home runs, Clark.
Yeah.
Georgia's hitting home runs. Georgia's hitting grand slams. And I felt like that was a game that, looking back at it, that guys just I think we left some runners on base too. There's a lot of guys in scoring position too that we couldn't even capitalize even more. But when it came down to it, man, it was offensive explosion. You won the game 11-2, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to do against teams like that, and it built a lot of confidence.
This is tough. This is not like football. I mean, I can't really break down a baseball game as easily as a football game.
No, I mean, the pitching staff, again, Wes Johnson, pulling guys, getting guys in at the right time, and a group effort. And that's what you got to have, man. And, kept them back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember that game. I just remember Kobe Branch grand slam.
Well, and I know Charlie had a rough outing. I think I don't even.
Oh, yeah.
He went 0 for 4, right?
Yeah, he did. Corey Collins hit a bomb to start the game.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
So over the
bombed one. Oh, yeah, that thing was gone.
So,
yeah. That was a fun game. I mean, and once again, it was overshadowed by the Tech game that next night. That was this past Sunday night. Oh, man, what a great win. What a stressful game. Georgia was down 5-2. Tech had a big second inning. I think had 3 runs, something like that in that inning. And, we were playing catch-up most of the game, and hats off to Tech. I hate that team. I hate the school. That's obvious. I think every Georgia fan feels the same way as me on that. But hats off to them. They did a good job, and their starting pitcher was pretty good too. He did a good job, I feel like, for the first few innings. And then our starting pitcher, Zach Harris,
great contribution.
Yeah,
great
he really did.
Great
he had a solid performance.
Did what we needed to do after that shaky second inning, Clark.
Yeah,
settled down, man, and put pitches where it needed to be.
Well, and he had a couple of errors too that didn't help.
That's right.
And that's not really his fault. And it would be the equivalent of, I don't know, getting a first down, but then having a stupid boneheaded penalty that sets
keeps
you
the
back.
defense on the field,
right.
or either something like that. but no, I mean, a lot of those errors, sure enough, seriously, in the second inning the sun was rough. It was at a rough angle, and for some of the outfielders, just had some balls that were hitting some spots that I don't know if couldn't read it really with how the sun lost in the sun. You have that happens in baseball, and kind of contributed to an extended inning. And then their catcher, their 9-hole hitter, hit a bomb, and but I thought Harris did a heck of a job rebounding from that, Clark, and really got some innings, carved away some innings that we needed to go to extend into the night to get some guys out of the pen. What's this? Goldstein.
Charlie Goldstein.
Charlie Goldstein.
Yeah, there's a Dylan Goldstein and a Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. It's Charlie. What's the update on his?
I don't know.
Status,
I don't know.
We really would need him going forward out there.
Yeah, we need everybody going forward, but I'm not exactly sure his status. I don't keep up with baseball injury reports like I do football.
But yeah, I don't know.
I hope he's doing well, but
yeah, I mean, we need him. We need him. Get arm out of the pen.
Yeah. Let's just skip to the fun stuff of this game. I mean, let's start talking about, the game was 5-2, 5th inning, I think. Is that when Trey Phelps hit his bomb, or was it the 6th or 7th?
Trey Phelps hit his bomb. I think it was the 6th. I cannot remember what inning it was, but Trey Phelps hit the bomb, and it made it 5-4, correct?
Yeah.
That's right.
I think.
Yeah, it did. It made it 5-4.
Yeah.
And then you go to the and also Tech is the home team.
Right.
So, I mean, we're playing
sense.
at Foley Field. Georgia is the away team in this. So you go to the top of the ninth, Georgia's down 5-4. Keep in mind, I mean, this isn't a do or die situation. You still had the next night to play Georgia Tech in a winner take all, but you want to go ahead and win it. Sweep the regional, man. Build some momentum. Get an extra day of rest, and before rest some arms more. Not have to play a game 7 in a regional. That way you get just arms rested going into the super regional. So I mean, you want to win this. Go ahead and win it that Sunday night. Crowd rocking, awesome atmosphere, man. And 5-4, and Kobe Branch hits a clutch home run to tie it up. And send it
that place went nuts.
Yeah,
I mean, it got loud, and that was, you know, once again, I forgot kind of how much fun it is watching a baseball game live in person. I mean, it's one thing to see it on TV, but it's another to be there, and I kind of got that feeling like, oh man, this is kind of like a mini version of Sanford Stadium right now after a big touchdown.
Right.
What was really cool was right behind us was Buttsmeer, not butt smear, Buttsmeer.
Yep.
And on the awning was Tate Ratledge and several football players. Didn't really recognize a lot of them, but but they were out there and they were cheering on the Diamond Dawgs, which was really cool to watch. And they were getting into it. Anytime we had the lights out, you know, doing the 4-quarter light Krypton fanfare. Yeah, I mean, they were doing it with us too. And
that's right.
It was a good environment, especially at night.
It was, man.
I love a good
It was.
baseball.
I mean, everybody, you could tell everybody was hype. Everybody was excited to see, knew what was at stake. And it just felt weird. There were so many times and you could just hear a pin drop.
I know.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Trying to look up some stuff real quick.
Trey Phelps' home run was awesome. And I'm going to tell you something. We have a fun tradition. And if you listened last year to Row 60, you know this. Auburn last year, we're on the road, we're down, you know, I can't remember. It was probably something like 10-0 at one point.
Yeah.
And Adam, you got some roasted peanuts.
Yeah.
And you said, hey,
that's right.
Let's everybody grab a handful of peanuts. Let's try to change the momentum.
Get the momentum going.
Get some good juju, right? So we did
exactly
that.
Right.
And sure enough, what started happening? Georgia came back. We won that game.
That's right.
And we thanked the peanuts.
That's right.
And what was amazing about this past weekend,
and we kept that going. We kept that going throughout the year.
Right. So yeah, we did. But what was amazing was we had a lady sit next to us who offered us some roasted peanuts
At a pivotal time.
At pivotal time, Georgia was down 5-3, and you know, getting late innings, we're kind of stressing out a little bit, and she just randomly offers us some peanuts, some roasted peanuts, and everybody kind of looks at each other like, This is it.
I mean,
this is a sign.
I mean, yeah, this is it.
This is a sign.
This is like we need to,
from the baseball gods. And so she handed out the peanut bag. We all started getting a handful of peanuts and eating our roasted peanuts.
She handed me the peanut bag, and we were handing them out to strangers. And it was just this couple from Chicago beside us. It was a fiance and a fiancée.
Okay.
So from Chicago,
yeah,
you know, not big Georgia Athletic fans. Old buddy was in grad school at Georgia. Just wanted to come see some baseball. So I explained that we need to get some peanuts, you know, to change the momentum up a little bit. So they hesitated a little bit, kind of looked at me like I had four eyes and whatnot. And I, you know, all fired up about this and not really knowing the tradition of eating a roasted peanut and during pivotal moments of Georgia athletics. And so anyway, we got our little contingent of people to eat some peanuts, and then boom, Trey Phelps.
Bomb. And you know, a lot of y'all saw us on TV, which was hilarious. I think the cameraman must have been a listener, a friend of the show. Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Otherwise, I don't know how he found us and why we got on TV that much. Maybe we were just being idiots.
Maybe so. It just stood out. It just stood out. That's right. That's right.
But all that to say, in that, if you go back and you watch Trey Phelps' home run, and it is literally all over social media. I've had like 20 people just like the past 2 days send me this clip from TikTok or Instagram. It's on ESPN, College Game Day, like everywhere. Because Trey Phelps did the home run, then he did his home run celebration. But in the midst of that, when he was rounding first base, it cuts to me and Adam.
Yep.
And you can see me start to say the words peanut energy. That was some peanut energy, something like that. I know I said peanut energy out loud.
The power of the peanut.
The power of the peanut. No, that's what it was. That's what it was. I started saying the power of the peanut, and then it cuts away. Oh man, the people were looking at me like I was crazy when I was saying it.
Just, it was great. It's great.
And then I held one up. I held a peanut up.
Held up one peanut.
A singular peanut. Hoisted it in the air as if to say, this is what did it right here, baby.
Oh, I love it, baby. I love it, man. I love it.
Gosh. But yeah.
Oh, man, it was great. It was great. I hadn't had that much fun. Long time.
I know.
Long time. It was, man, it was, everybody was electric.
Are they the third quarter peanuts or maybe we should call them the rally peanuts?
Rally peanuts. Yeah. I mean, just when you need good juice. When you need good juice and good momentum, you get some peanuts. Shout out to Dylan Deese, patron. We got him a bag of peanuts at the Missouri game.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing that happened. You know, I mean, Will Snipes, another patron, he talks about we need to get some peanuts going.
Right.
I did one particular game get a bag of roasted peanuts that didn't go our way, but it's
because you probably didn't share them with everybody.
Probably not. So
or maybe you did, but
in Atlanta. But
that doesn't count.
We're just sitting the football podcast. So anyway, I mean that was exciting, and have that happen was great, man. But the way Georgia came back in those extra innings in the small ball court, I love some small ball. Lots of small ball. Another veteran guy, Fernando Gonzalez, laying down that bunt, man. Perfectly placed bunt. Third baseman charging, trying to make a play, throwing on the run, overthrows the first baseman, and you score the eventual winning run. And you put guys in position and scoring position for Corey Collins to come up and smoke one to get some insurance right there, and you win the game 8-6.
It was a fun night, I'm telling y'all. Go back and watch the highlights of it. But let's hold up just a second. I think this is one of the best. I could be wrong about this. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some Georgia baseball. I feel like I could speak to this somewhat. Yeah. This has got to be one of the best Georgia baseball games of all time.
Without a doubt.
The significance of it and just what the season has been about and the magic of it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, it's
up there.
It's eerie for those we referred to 2008 to win the Athens regional. Georgia beat Georgia Tech,
right?
To play NC State,
yeah.
So, it's crazy, and the best atmosphere I've ever seen in Foley Field was Game 3 Super Regional against NC State in 2008. Georgia won it 17-8, pulled away big time at the end. Gordon Beckham, last at bat at Foley Field. Everybody thinks this is it. Home run, man, storybook ending. Way to go out in Foley. And then we bat around. It's like, dadgummit, wish, even though you love seeing Gordon Beckham bat again, man, could have ended it his last at bat, a home run. What does he do, Clark? Puts another one in the trees. Place erupts. It was straight pandemonium.
I think I was there with you because I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane, bonkers. And it will be this weekend, too, the same thing. But, yeah, I mean, it hadn't been. I know for a fact it's the best atmosphere it's been in Foley Field in 16 years.
I'm with you.
Without a doubt.
It's not like we've been to. I've heard, though, from people going this season who have, went to the regular season games. Even they were talking about, well before now, hey, we're starting to get some momentum. This atmosphere's getting a little juice.
Well, let's put a spark of energy in it, man. I mean, it's crazy. I didn't feel the same juice in the 18 and 19 regionals,
right?
But this one, again, having Georgia Tech there and everything, I mean, just big. Just big, Clark.
For sure.
Just big.
All right, moving on. This weekend, once again, Georgia takes on NC State, the Wolfpack.
One quick thing. Can I just shout out Chandler Marsh and the effort he made?
Okay.
When you got bases loaded, coming in big-time situations, just fighting, man, just fighting. I think he was one pitch away, one ball away from walking in the final run.
That is a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, was it late
some nerves?
Crap.
Either one of those guys, I think, were in that situation where it's like, one
Leighton Finley, Chandler. But I mean,
one crack at the bat and the game's over and Tech wins. I mean, but they both came in those high pressure situations.
Yeah, but I think it was it might have been Leighton Finley that made the great defensive play, covering first. Man, knowing your assignments, fundamental baseball right there. Great play by Corey Collins right there, and being able to pitch the ball over there, and I think it was Finley getting to the bag and getting a big out right there to win it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those two guys. Either way, both of them coming in great,
Yep.
And the relief.
All right, let's talk about the Athens Super Regional. I don't know if it's called the Athens Super Regional, but that's what I'm gonna call it. Okay.
It is.
It better 100%. Be. Yeah. All right, we're taking on NC State. They're the number 10 overall seed. Georgia is the number 7 overall seed, or just ranked number 7 and number 10, however you want to say it. They also went 3-0 in their region, beating James Madison, a good South Carolina team, and Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where Bryant is. I could not point out Bryant on the map. Where's Bryant?
I couldn't tell you. Probably in North Carolina.
That sounds about right. I mean, it had to be somewhere up there in the Carolinas, I'd imagine.
I would think.
We've talked about it this whole time. Last time we were in a super regional, we played Russell Wilson in NC State.
And yes, it is the Russell Wilson that was the Seahawks quarterback, Broncos quarterback, now Steelers quarterback. It is the same Russell Wilson. You think, wait, I thought he played college football at Wisconsin. No, he started off at NC State, but also played baseball. And in 2008, he was the starting second baseman that weekend in Athens, Georgia.
And he was pretty good. I mean, he was.
Yeah, I mean, I remember vividly. And
Georgia eventually won that series to advance. And once again, this is a best of 3 series. So all Georgia needs to do this weekend is win 2, right?
Yeah.
So we're playing Saturday, Sunday, Monday if needed. Hopefully we don't even get to that Monday game. You can watch it ESPNU, 12 o'clock Eastern time. So right after you get out of church, ladies and gentlemen, you need to turn on your television and turn to ESPNU
for game 2.
Watch the Dawgs.
You need to watch game 1 on Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday definitely. But game 2, hopefully that will be when we win it all.
The dog pile will ensue.
Dog pile, yes.
Yeah. I'm excited, Clark, man. First time in 16 years. I want to say this. You know, the 01 regional, we beat Florida State. 04 regional, beat Tech. 06 was against South Carolina. Big game 3 win against them. I'll never forget that. We got smoked, and Justin Smoke. Do you remember him? He was a big first baseman. Played many years for the Blue Jays, I believe, and Mariners. And golly, he hit massive home runs that first game in 06. Like, we're smart. I thought we were going to get run out of the building. Come back, win the last 2 games, and then the NC State series in 08. So hopefully history repeats itself. I'd love to see a sweep this go around. And Omaha, man. Omaha.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited about it. But I have a few things to talk about with NC State.
Okay.
So can't say I've watched the Wolfpack play much baseball this year.
Have you watched them play any baseball this year?
0.
Me neither.
0. Good program they got. Sure enough, I know during I forgot what exactly happened, but the COVID stuff.
They couldn't field a team. They didn't have enough players.
Could not field a team with COVID, and they probably were the hottest team in the field that year. So should have really won a national championship within the last couple of years. And so, I mean, they got a good program going on there. ACC is a very tough baseball conference. You got to give them their due there. They have had against other tournament teams, Clark. Actually, these teams that were in the field, some of them are still in it. Virginia. They were 2-1 against North Carolina, so won their series against North Carolina, who just put out LSU. They were 2-1 against Virginia, who just put out Mississippi State and advanced to a super regional. They were 2-1 against Clemson, who is playing Florida in a super regional. I think they only played 2 games against Florida State, and they split the 2 games with them, who is also in a super regional. They were swept Wake Forest, who was supposed to be a sleeper but were eliminated. But, Clark, they were 0-3 against Georgia Tech, but that was, I think, the first conference series of the year for NC State.
Wow.
So they have about 3 hitters that are kind of in that 16 home run mark. I mean, not a team that just, filled with 26 home run hitters, in the sense that they've hit 26 home runs in the year, like the heart of the lineup being that way. So, one thing too, I don't think they have any pitching. That there are 2 pitchers that I see that have pitched the most innings. 74 innings pitched is Sam Highfield, who has a 5.35 ERA, Clark. 6-2 overall record.
Okay.
And Dominic Fritton has 68 innings pitched.
Okay.
He's 3-5 for the year.
All right.
And I don't think they're going to just blow the ball by you. I think more of a Greg Maddox approach of just good pitch placement.
Sure.
Trying to pitch,
all right.
Be able to throw the ball in a place that the hitters can't hit it. And but not a lot of high heat. Not a lot of gas. Okay. Not a lot of gas out there, Clark.
What did you say? They were 157th or something in something?
150. Category? Yes, they are, Clark. NC State team ERA is 157th in the country.
Wow. So it sounds like they've been winning games in shootouts essentially, which is kind of Georgia style too.
Yeah, and but they're also, Georgia has been very, very good at Foley Field this year. Like only lost a handful of games, right? And NC State is below 500 away from the friendly confines of Raleigh, North Carolina. So, their best, I think, hitter is Alex. I can't pronounce his last name. He's the third baseman. Alec Makowitz.
Makowitz.
Something.
All
I don't know exactly, but look out for that guy.
Okay. We'll look out for him, Adam.
Fun fact. We're going to take an Adam fun fact for their baseball episode. Both teams are 11-3 in their last 14 games. So playing their best ball at the end of the year. I think this is a very even matchup. But if you look at team statistical categories, Clark, Georgia is actually leading NC State in all the big categories except fielding percentage, and NC State's just a little bit above them.
So what that means is we got to clean up any errors.
Oh, I mean, to win, Georgia has the bats to win.
Oh, yeah.
In Omaha. To be hoisting up that trophy in Omaha, Clark. They got it. Period. It's there. You got Charlotte Condon for crying out loud. Mm-hmm. And a dang good core, and just a good supporting cast. Where it's going to be is pitching staff and fielding.
Yeah.
Not making costly mistakes in the field with your pitching staff when you're trying to get off the field, Clark. When you're in big situations where you're 2 outs and you're trying to get off the field and you got a daggum little blooper that's hit in between, up in the middle, up the middle, like a little bloop. You know, you're a second baseman, you're middle infield making a play, making an athletic play. Mm-hmm. Or if you just have a routine ground ball hit to the shortstop, field it cleanly, don't rush your throw, step, throw, alligator mouth, field the ball, come.
Right.
Let's capitalize. Let's get the easy outs.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get the easy outs. Let's not give them anything. Let's not let our pitchers work too hard.
And that's been kind of a sort of a problem I've seen recently. Really before the SEC championship, when we dropped those games to Florida, we're starting to give too many teams too many free passes to the base with walks, especially, and just not throwing strikes, to be honest, and hitting guys. And once again, those errors, though they are kind of far and few in between with this team, they do kill you in certain situations.
You don't win championships like that.
Yeah, we got to clean that stuff up, and that rings true for any baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, if you just give a little bit more hustle and catch a fly ball in foul territory to get out of an inning, go do it. Go get that ball.
Yeah,
and then also on the offensive side, don't leave runners in scoring position.
Stranded
position.
Condition.
Yeah, just don't leave runners stranded.
Y'all.
Just don't leave runners stranded. So, I think this team very well could win this. It's a good matchup. NC State easily can win, but it's not like this is a team that you look at it on paper that's just head and shoulders above Georgia. It's going to take a heroic effort. No, I think if Georgia plays the baseball they've played here recently, they should be able to win this series,
100%.
man. And the pitching is going to be the key, but you get some days of rest. I'm excited to see that this is actually starting on Saturday opposed to Friday. This regional is. So, go out there in front of hopefully just a rocking crowd. We're going to need that. Foley Field's going to have an electric environment.
Even at noon.
This
is a nooner.
In the hot sun, man, you're going to have an electric environment, man. So I'm excited about it. It has the potential to go to Omaha and face some teams that we absolutely hate in some classic matchups there. So it could be a fun June.
Yeah. I mean, we could potentially see Clemson. We could potentially see Tennessee.
Yep.
Florida, which is wild. No. Florida and Clemson
are playing, so we're hoping for strong meteor showers in Clemson, South Carolina at Dawgs Kingsmore Stadium over the weekend. Meteor game
for sure.
To the fullest right there.
Yeah, 3 of them. Golly.
Yes, sir.
Well, Adam, I don't know much about this NC State matchup, but I did talk with old Ty Peoples, Georgia baseball commit. He is insanely good at baseball. Franklin County.
Yep, our hometown
native and player here, but he said we should beat NC State at the gym the other day, and he knows a lot more baseball than I do. And once again, is going to Georgia to play. He's one of the best in the nation. Like, I'll take his word for it. I trust what he says.
Like it.
So
good.
I'm going to say the Dawgs win it in 3. I think we drop a game. God, I really hope it's not Sunday because we're going Sunday. I think we might drop the first game.
Okay,
but we're going to storm back and take 2 of the 3, and the Dawgs are going to go.
So Georgia going in 3. Omaha.
What do you say? Clark. This is like our score prediction.
That's what I figured. That's what I'm going into with Clark. Man, I've wanted this for a long time. Wanted Georgia baseball to be at this moment for a long time because it's exciting, brings back great childhood memories, man. And it's fun to see watching Georgia in Omaha, and it's been so long. I crave it. I want it. And there's no reason why the University of Georgia shouldn't be in Omaha like they used to be every other year.
Yep.
Or at least compete, hosting a regional every other year. They should be among the elite in the SEC. It's a talent-rich state. The resources are there. Let's invest in it. Let's get behind this baseball program. Go to these games, man, with the family. It's such a fun time to go take the family to the ballpark and get fired up for Georgia baseball, especially this weekend when so much is at stake. Get loud and rowdy. Pretend you're in Sanford Stadium because that energy will find you. It's contagious, man. Yeah. And it's exciting to be with your Georgia Bulldog brothers and sisters, man, just getting rowdy for the Dawgs in June. I think Foley Field is absolutely going to be electric and the most electric it has ever been in the history of Foley Field.
Wow.
People are craving this, man. It's been a long drought since we've gone to Omaha. What ticket prices are already just skyrocketed on the secondary market. They sold out like crazy on when they were going to Hartman Donor. So people are excited about this, Clark. Georgia's going to win this series in 2 games, Clark. Sunday about 3:30, 4 o'clock, there will be a massive dog pile on the pitcher's mound of Foley Field because Georgia will be going to Omaha for the first time in 16 years to avenge a very heartbreaking loss to Fresno State in the finals and hopefully be en route to beating the heck out of a Tennessee team or a Clemson and Florida team in the process, baby. It's going to be a special June. Buckle up, baby, because row 60 or row M will be there for every second of it. Get rowdy, wear your red and black the rest of the week, and get fired up for some Georgia baseball. It is time to let the big dog eat, baby. Go Dawgs!
Dawgs!
Ooh, 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 ooh. Woo!